What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Diablo 3. Season 21 is approaching. It goes live on July 3rd. However, the update and patch are already here, adding the changes into the game. Now, while we wait for the season, that's still a long stretch away. I just couldn't wait, and I had to hop in game and check out the new Demon Hunter set. Now, those of y'all that know me and know how I play Diablo generally, I do extremely lazy builds. I generally won't push super high. The highest I've ever gone is Greater Rift 125, and I'll pretty regularly each season go up to about 110 just to get some gems done. Now, my main focus of my builds in Diablo are always going to be quality of life, and for lack of a better term, just plain pure laziness. So this is a very lazy Carpal Tunnel friendly build in the upcoming Season 21 for Diablo 3. Now, taking a look at the set, it is the Gears of Dreadlands, the two-piece set. Gain 4 seconds of momentum when attacking with a primary skill at a maximum duration of 20 seconds. Your primary skills deal 10% increased damage per second of momentum. Strafing for the 4 set against enemies will automatically shoot your last used primary skill and also give you 60% damage reduction while strafing, and for 5 seconds after. While strafing, you gain 8% increased movement speed for each second of momentum. And then the 6-piece, your primary skills deal 10,000% increased damage. Now, a lot of folks are going to be able to put together a really awesome Entangling Shot, Hungering Arrow build that is a dual generator build. But of course, for pure laziness, we are going with a single generator build, and I'm choosing to go with Hungering Arrow, Devouring Arrow, increases the damage of the arrow with each enemy pierced as my generator. Now, as you see, I'm going to want to keep this stacked up to 20. You see the buff right here, momentum. You also see the stacks drop off really quick. So, although your strafe is going to be firing your Hungering Arrow automatically, it is not giving you a stack when strafe fires it off. So you are going to want to periodically throw out some Hungering Arrows just to make sure you're staying as close to 20 stacks of momentum as possible. And then we're going with strafe, of course. Shoot at nearby enemies while moving at full movement speed. I'm strafing, I want to go fast, that's the whole deal, so we are taking Drifting Shadow. Now going right along, Shadow Power Gloom. Shadow Power is going to gain life for dealing damage for 5 seconds, but it's also going to reduce the damage taken while Shadow Power is active. You're going to see a lot of recurring themes of damage reduction throughout this build, and of course, if you're dead, you're dead. We want to stay alive. Then I'm going with the companion, the Wolf Companion. Now, I did go with Wolf, however, really for survivability, if you went with Boar instead, it's going to make you an absolute beast. However, I do like that damage buff that we get with the Wolf, so I'm going with the Wolf. And then we've got Fan of Knives, a bladed armor. Once again, we want to increase our survivability. So with Fan of Knives, we're going to be gaining an additional armor after using Fan of Knives, and this of course is on a 10-second cooldown with bladed armor. And then of course Vengeance. Vengeance is, I think, a go-to in every Demon Hunter build, and we are going with Dark Heart. So Vengeance fills your Dark Heart, reducing all damage taken. So we have got a whole lot of damage reduction, and we're going to continue that a little bit further. As far as the weapon, I'm going with the Fortress Ballista. Attacks grant you an absorb shield for up to 3% of your maximum life, stacking up to 10 times. So this is a 30% absorb shield, which really shines in combination with squirts. Squirts, while not taking damage dealt is increased by up to 100%. Now, this means that we're going to be able to take a few stray shots here and there and keep squirts up all the time. If our shield is here from Fortress Ballista, then any incidental damage that doesn't go below the shield amount is still going to keep squirts alive and well. And then we're going with the 9th series satchel. Hungering Arrow is guaranteed to pierce and also deals 551% increased damage. Now, of course, we want our Hungering Arrow piercing because we did go with Devouring Arrow, so each pierce is going to increase the damage of Hungering Arrow, and that is going to fit right on in with the 9th series satchel and guaranteeing that pierce. Now, for rings, I went with Focus and Restraint. Just an awesome combo for lots of Demon Hunter builds. This one, no different. For a belt, your primary skills attack 30% faster, but the main thing is and deal increased damage, up to 200%, I believe. And then the Wraps of Clarity, your hatred generators reduce your damage taken by 50% for 5 seconds. Just absolutely huge. What more can you say? Wraps of Clarity is good stuff as well. Now in the cube, we're going with Dawn, so we can reduce the cooldown of Vengeance by 65%. We're going with Depth Diggers, primary skills that generate resource, deal 100% additional damage. And I've got a Convention of Elements here, however, it's so tough not to put the Flavor of Time in here. The flavor is so amazing that I'm going with Convention of Elements, but my heart screams Flavor of Time, and I may end up throwing Flavor of Time in as we get into the actual season. For gems, I'm going with Bane of the Stricken, Taeguk, and Bane of the Trapped. So let's pop one in, and we'll do just a mediocre Rift. I didn't fine-tune a set. As you see, just none of the pieces are any good. These are all literally the first items I found on the ground. Yeah. So just a set thrown together. Still, obviously, I'm sitting on 1500 Paragon, so that gets me over the hump without having any augments on the main set pieces. So let's pop into like a GR80 and check it out. Now, first things first, when we first get in, is we want to get up to 20 stacks and then go ham. What more can you say? Now, every now and then you are going to want to stop and drop a few additional Hungering Arrows out there just to increase your stacks. Now, I do get a little spammy with my Shadow Power, and that can drain your Discipline quite quickly if you are a little bit too spammy with it. And I do tend to do that, no doubt about it. So that's something to keep an eye out for as well. But as you see, it's a super fast build. It's handling GR80 really, really fine. And, you know, what more can you want? It's a super lazy spin to win build that is just really, really fun to play. I just love it. I love the thought of Strafe. And in fact, I'm pretty confident that this season and the Strafe set may actually get my wife back into some Diablo 3 as well, because it's just a really, really fun set to play, and Strafe is just a fun ability to use. So I am just super, super stoked for Season 20 to get going, so we can really see how this build is going to play. As, you know, it's definitely got massive potential. I'm hoping that the one generator is able to do decently without going into the entangling shots, as I just feel like that's going to be just a super high quality of life, super lazy grinder setup that is just amazingly fun to play. Now, once we get down to our Rift Guardian, we have still got tons and tons of power with that Hungering Arrow going out, so GG's there. Now, another thing to note, with just a few changes, you can end up putting together a absolutely silly gold farming build by swapping out for Gold Wrap and the Avarice Band in the cube, adding in Boon of the Hoarder as one of the gems. We'll get rid of Stricken there, and then you are going to be just zooming through maps so quick. Now, for the gold farming setup, I did switch over to Shadow Glide for a little bit more speed because we just don't need the survivability. And believe it or not, I switched over to Ferrets just for fun mode. The Ferrets give you a speed boost, plus they're going to run around and help pick up gold that's around you. Just good stuff right there. So hopefully you all enjoy Season 21 and the upcoming fresh season, as I am just looking forward to grinding it out, and I'm probably going to main Demon Hunter for the entire season, and I just absolutely love the thought of that. So that will do it for now. Thanks an absolute ton for watching. Make sure to click that like button, please subscribe to the channel, and I will be back soon as Season 21 hits, actually, with some more Diablo 3. Thanks again. I'll see you next time.